Hello and welcome to Improve Your Voice. My name is Darren McStay and today I'm going to make a video for you which has been actually quite popular in the requests in the comments, and it is a voice review, but it's not one of the usual voice reviews because this one is a voice review of me, of myself, of me, of myself. I've been asked by a few people, so tell us, break down how you're speaking, Darren, and what you're doing. And so I thought, rather than just breaking down the way I speak on this channel, because the way I speak on this channel sometimes is a bit more considered and a little bit more thoughtful and towards using the voice. So I don't really let my guard down. And what I thought I'd do, to be fair, because I'm picking other people's voices and not necessarily getting them at the best. So I thought I'd take one of my vlogs from last year on my own channel, Darren McStay. You can check that out. That's where I have all my music videos and the vlogs that I was doing. I haven't been doing vlogs in a while because this channel just took off and became more popular, so I thought I'd just continue with this, making more videos here. However, watching back through some of my old vlogs, I'm really tempted to go back to it because there's a side to me that you don't see on this channel, which is a bit more wacky, a bit crazy, and just a little bit more free and expressive, and also quite funny, even watching myself. So I'm going to look at one of those videos right now, and it's called "You Won't Believe This Happened Thanks to Shakespeare," and I'll put a link to it here. And basically I'm just going to take a part of it and listen to the way I'm speaking there and see what I can discover from watching myself. So I guess here we go.
You need to get Shakespeare on its feet, you need to speak Shakespeare, and that way, and only that way, can you fully understand it. There's many reasons for this, but mostly because of the heartbeat that Shakespeare wrote into. He used the rhythm of the iambic pentameter to create a heartbeat throughout his entire repertoire. By setting the rhythm, he was then able to manipulate and change it to how he wanted the actors to play their specific scenes. It's no wonder the planet is baffled and bemused by studying Shakespeare.
Right, the first thing I'm noticing about myself, and it's good that I'm looking at a video from last year and not a recent one, because I have had time to filter it through and I can actually look at it more, objectively. But the first thing I'm noticing is with my voice, it is the fact that it's quite hard. My voice is quite bright, and I know that's because I'm from London, and I've considered this about myself before, but watching this now just reminds me that the air placement that I use in my accent and the way I speak is quite dynamic, because it bounces off the hard palate, which is here. The front part of my top jaw, which is bone essentially, is very kind of like, it's hard essentially. And so what happens is when I speak, I'm throwing air, bouncing it off there, and it's boof, and it's coming out very quickly and abruptly. So my voice sounds almost like a dog barking. It's really kind of hard, and I think this happens certainly in big cities because I'm originally from London, and also having worked on a market stall as a teenager where you have to use your voice in order to be heard over other people. Because even though for many years I was very shy and very subdued and quite quiet, when I did develop my voice and start finding my voice, my accent dictated that it sounds quite loud, barky, and somehow I think some people might even see it as aggressive. So this way that it's quite forceful and forward may actually put people off, and it can be quite a hard sound. So that's a self-criticism, but also an observation from how I believe my air placement is creating the sounds that I do.
It's like, what the fuck is this crazy bard on about? Well, I agree, the language is a little bit dated now, and even in his day he chopped up words and mashed them together in different ways just to suit his purpose, creating literally thousands of new words, which are mostly still used today. But this isn't a lecture on Shakespeare, we'll save that for another day. This is a vlog.
Now, it's interesting because even though I'm sending the air off my hard palate, I know physically I've got a kind of fairly small nose and I guess nasal cavity, but there is an element of nasality in my voice, and it's not a camp sound, it's just somehow the air is flowing through it and I can hear that. Now, I've often been told in the past, because I'm actually from a place in East London next to Essex, and the Essex accent is a bit more nasally and it's a bit more like that. And some people have thought in the past that I'm Australian, and so this kind of, it could be, you know, the shape of my nose, but also just the fact that I'm sending air forward very forcefully, that it's also going up my nose and coming, making me sound more Australian. If I was to go really further with it, I would probably sound Australian, but if I pull it back just to how I am, that's, you know, just who I am. And this video is clearly just me being me, as expressive as I can be. So yeah, there's a tendency to sound a little bit Australian because of the placement being forceful and going up into my nose, not just in my mouth. But there's another thing I noticed, that I do tend to show my bottom teeth, and I hope that this isn't learned from when I did studies on animal studies and at drama school, and we learned that the alpha male always does this. And I don't think it's because I'm trying to be alpha. I think it's just happened because that's the way I've kind of habitually started to speak. I'm not showing my teeth. I've got quite a tight top lip. What happens if I bring my lip up and try to speak without moving the lip down like that? It completely changes the sound of the way I speak. And trying to keep it here, well, I'm holding it now, but even if I'd practiced, it does really change the way I sound. But when I bring it down here, I seem to be able to articulate myself. So that would indicate that I'm using my teeth quite a lot for my articulation and the way that I'm shaping words and sounds. And that's just interesting. I don't know really what that means or what that is, but the teeth are articulators as well, so we must consider that. And the fact that I'm pulling my bottom lip out of the way to articulate just is perhaps how I've learned to create sounds. Everyone's learned different ways, and some people that might have issues with their voice and not be able to articulate words a certain way, or certain words the way they'd like to, could, you know, play around not only with the lips and the tongue and, you know, the soft palate, but also maybe change the way your teeth are on show, and that actually changes your lips and the structure of the way you formulate sound and words. So that's an interesting one. That's just something I noticed.
This isn't a lecture on Shakespeare. We'll save that for another day. This is a vlog. And to prove to you...
That's one thing I do like about watching my old video back here and my voice, is that I do believe I've become a lot more expressive, and I do believe I've got quite a dynamic range of expression, and that means that I'm not afraid to go up here and talking my head voice, and also drop down and sometimes just relax and rest on my chest voice. And that just gives me the full scope, and it allows me, I guess, in some respect, to not worry about what I'm doing, because my voice is working clearly, and so I want to express myself in a certain way. My voice is able to go up to the high notes and down to the low ones, which keeps it, I guess, kind of dynamic. And for me, it's kind of interesting to hear, and it's actually quite comical somehow for someone to use their whole range. Most of us probably just stay within 2 to 3, but I'm moving through all, 4 or 5, and I guess that it comes from drama training and having used my voice and enjoying using my voice. That's, it's not that I like the sound of my own voice, but when I'm speaking, I guess I'm searching for things inside, and when I find it, there's an excitement and a joy about sharing this knowledge that I do with you guys, and when I'm singing songs and writing songs. So I think there's something in my musicality, in the fact that I got into acting and like to share and express myself in dynamic ways, that just colours the speech patterns I have and the way I go up and down and all around all the time. So that's something I noticed. I'm quite a colourful speaker as well. What else can we see? What else is going on?
How uncomplicated it needs to be to learn Shakespeare, and how fun it really can be.
Actually, one thing I do notice is that in this video I was doing a lot of voice work at the time, and it's really kind of articulate. I'm being quite expressive, but also making sure that everything is clear and understood. Sometimes I think recently, because of commitments, I've not done enough work on myself, despite telling you guys what you're supposed to be doing. And so I think my voice here was a bit fuller, richer, and more articulate than it is right now. And that just reminds me again, I've got to get back to doing some of that work I was doing before, which you can find on my 8-week course if you're into that.
I went to a drama school here in Finland to teach an introductory workshop. As you know, I've spent the last year learning their language. And now it's time for for my revenge using Shakespeare.
Look, I'd really love it if you guys out there would check out some of those vlogs of mine. Clearly, like, the vlogs didn't take off like this channel did, and that's why I didn't really continue with them. But I find them really fun, and they do express a very different side to me. I've been considering making a new channel, and I put a poll out to you guys whether or not you think I should share some of the material, my new podcast, maybe some vlogs, and work on confidence. But I'm also... And most of you said yes, 75% of you said yes, you'd like it all on this channel. But then this channel is called Improve Your Voice. And even though I do things on confidence here, I think I should create a new channel for that. And that's going to be called Hack Mojo, and it's going to be coming soon. So just to make you aware of that. And I do already have the Talk Hack channel, which you can find a link to as well on my page. But look, check out some of those vlogs, because there's some of them that are educational as well as me trying to kind of show my day-to-day life, and there might be something in there that will help you with your storytelling, with your voice, and it was the original version of what this channel has become now. So there's some raw ideas in there, and it's chopped together in a very different way. It might not be your thing, but take a look, and it would be interesting to know your thoughts anyway. But that was a little review on my own voice and things that I picked up. It's kind of hard to judge yourself. It's kind of hard to look, at yourself and really pinpoint things. But those are the bits that I picked up. If there's any elements of my voice that you can take and use, I think it would be something to do with the articulation, and not overly articulating, but just hitting words and finishing sentences clear enough to get the message through without sounding false and unnatural. And I think I might have that down. I think that's also because I've done a lot of voiceover work, and people need you to sound natural and believable without sounding like a robot, or a robot animated. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, thank you for watching. My name is Darren McStay. This is Improve Your Voice, and until the next time, look after your voice.